Right, so this will be our second layer 8. Fractured chambers this time round. No legendary, no trinkets, no ring, no necklace. Much more the item level that you'll have when you've just hit max level. So can you take out the layer 8 Torghast with fresh gear? Well, not quite fresh gear, it's not exactly the same. Convoke the spirits might be the way that we're going by the look of this. Anything that can reduce Convoke's cooldown, we will grab. We are going to need to grab pretty much everything here. So as you can see, no rings, no necklaces, 131, and obviously we can't change gear. So this probably isn't enough. By taking off the rings, the survivability is not hurt too much. We have a few bit of lost stamina, but mainly it's just the damage that we're going to be losing. But that's fine, we can just take this slow, cool carefully. Which way to go? I think we'll head up here first. This looks like a dead end. And if the RPG rules are right, if you want to look for goodies, always go for the dead end first. Looks like we have a rare and an escort here. This may have been a larger pool than anticipated. But no worry, that's what Convoke is for. If there's no elites around, we can just use it for an emergency. And we'll get another bag. I said earlier that I liked the Moonfire one. Have Moonfire cooldown full moon, it's just a nice big burst of damage. But we're going to make sure that we have Convoke back for that rare over there. Or at least we're going to have it for some parts of its combat. Which 40 seconds should be sufficient enough. We have our little Kyrian friend fighting with us too. Must remember to use Heart of the Wild this time round. Heart of the Forest, wow. Getting confused. Fleet Druid, just shift out the roots. No problem, just taking this carefully, making sure our health is solid. Doesn't have to be full, just solid enough. That's the full moon. I'm thinking the Frostbite Ward. They heal it back up, but it can be a pretty useful one. Especially with Convoke, just to nuke down some guys before they can really react. Still looking for some Convoke buffs. think we'll head up this way because that's the way we came. Take out the more rats. We aren't stuck in combat, even though getting stuck in combat would actually be the right thing to do in this map, I guess. This is quite dangerous now. But nothing we can't handle. So this would be the end, presumably, if the Korean lady is there. So you can have her back. And since mastery doesn't really help our damage in any way, we will take 10 soul fragments. And as suspected, nice dead end, hopefully be some animal power somewhere. The Sunfire here can just use to break all of the phylacteries. I think a bit of self-healing without having to heal is probably better. Don't really need to spread our dots over when we can just multi-dot instead. We're getting combat quickly. Another group of enemies. That's my sort of NPC combat though. These big guys, the frost one isn't going to be quite so good at, but it's the small ones that we're using it on really. Buffing up mastery didn't really help us. That's the real downside of the frost proc, is it really only works on the smaller enemies. Not this big boss one. Oh, hello. This is my boy, Circlet of Weeds. Increase hot speed by 33%. And dot speed, actually, that's the more important bit. That is my number one pick whenever I see it. Moonfire and Sunfire are basically the key spells. And that's something that buffs them. In fact, it's the only thing that buffs them, really. Other than the Moonfire Full Moon one that we also have. Right, we have a tough little pull up the front here. You can see through stealth. Let's Ursul's you. Get ourselves safety. Really wish that we had Convoke right now. There is Convoke. Probably a bit late. Don't actually even need it. That's how much Circlet Weeds has done. We can get rid of the rare. And that was just with hots and dots even. So a bad pull at the start. Didn't even need the full moon. One very strong anima power. You can just let Moonfire and Sunfire take care of it, and then you can just focus on healing yourself. Oh, we're going to let this guy hang around with us until he's killed by Sunfire. Or killed by this dude. And let's have a look at what this map is looking like. So it's just a linear line here. Pretty sure versus point on that is not worth it. Right, so we have an ad here, rare, along with a pack. So we definitely need to be invoking this. So again, shifting just gets out of the debilitating. We'll pop Convoke. Find that Convoke has been an aggro machine. So we'll let Moonfire and Sunfire do the business. It's just amazing just how much kiting, just from survival, that Circlet of Weeds can just take these guys down pretty quickly in the grand scheme of things. Will our increase our crit strike? Since auto attack range, nah, I don't need that. Doesn't increase our damage at all. Grab this coil of rope, that'll be useful later. Or will it be useful later? It may not be. See, even on these large pools, don't often just feel the need to Moonfire everything, just a bit of Sunfire being the key winner here. We'll just get disorientated all the time, it'll be good. We're going to find a way for us to use this rope that we have acquired. Do we have anywhere to use this rope? Can we get down to any other platforms? I'm not seeing so. I'm curious as to why there was rope on this level then. Maybe it's for later on, there's going to be grapple points. We'll see. For now, looks like we have another mob fighting pack. We're going to get another bag of meat. Indeed we are. So if you're much more worried about this, probably grabbing the stats is the correct thing. Don't quite have the DPS to knock this guy through in one convoke plus the frost thing, but make sure we're safe first. We don't want to die to a crit or anything like that. And easy. And we'll take some occasional damage. Someone else that works with Sunfire. Now we're onto our freebie floor. We have a blob as the last boss. Check this one first. All of these are pretty awful, but playing fog could be useful if we need to do more kiting, I think. Grab our cheap one. We'll grab this safe one. Or what do we have? I do like the bottle of moonshine. Is that better than the refilling? I think we skip the ravenous animal cell. I think it's overly that useful in this one here. You want to extend bark skin or get more? I think we just get more damage here. Right, so let's see what's in this one. Looks like we'll be reducing their casting speed. Not that there's been many casters around. And we'll go for the last 3 floors. And immediately we're faced with a double pack, including one of the nightmare enemies. And they're just too close to split. We need to get this guy out of here immediately. And that guy did die within the frost, duration of the frost thing. So that armor power has pretty much made sure that we aren't losing to this pack, which is very important. So I'd say it earned its weight. Not that we aren't in trouble here. We still haven't found anything to actually help convoke other than the initial power we got. Right, hopefully there's not too many of those pools anymore. As it turns out, there was a good number of castable enemies. And look, we have our bottle of moonshine, second stack. Perfect. Yes, so it looks like this route is... Oh, we can actually just cut straight through here if we wanted to. I've somehow aggroed that pack to the left, which is unfortunate, considering we didn't actually attack it, but that is the danger. Don't think there's any elites in this pack though. So we'll probably just make sure that we take down the rich list. And overall wasn't too bad. He says as he almost dies. Let's grab some powers here, or some stat buffs at least. We're going to go through exploring now just to make ourselves as powerful as possible for the last boss. Since he's probably not going to be the easiest in the world. There's been some okay anima powers, but I was hoping for a few more impactful ones. Our main objective ones that we've required are survival based. And circulative weeds. Oh, suppressor again. I don't remember what the suppressor provided last time. I think he gave us some crit. So either shifting it into cat form or out of cat form will just remove that slow. Very nice. I think 45% extra max health. Silences, interrupts don't really matter that much. There's not too many that even do it, to be honest. There's a tower sentinel down there. Let's go around that route and take him out. So my experience of ones like these with lots of skeletons, if you grab the plundered anima cell that just transforms someone into a power, most of the time you're just going to end up getting extra phantasm from it anyway. It was a bit of a pointless purchase. Speaking of pointless, we haven't actually encountered any assassins yet, which is very nice. I'll probably jinx myself, but hey ho. One lone tower sentry, and a rare down here as well. In that case, we probably don't need to pop a cooldown on the tower sentry. Just knock him down the old-fashioned way. With a full moon. I was going to say, where is our rare? But he would be the stealth guy in the middle. Interesting. So we hit him and he chose to attack the fire elemental. But overall, he's not really hit too hard. And we can reduce our threat. I'm thinking we just go for the flat out haste here. Something that helps healing and damage. We know is always going to be up. I realised at the start of this video we didn't go through our talents, but Power Affinity, Heart of the Wild, they're the main ones. Got Snarry and Ward and Photosynthesis. But a lot of these are just my comfort picks. Those are the two main ones you'll want. One elite with lots of mobs. Shouldn't need to convert this pack though. Get rid of the little guys. So these Lords of Torment are certainly hitting on the harder side, but we'll just keep ourselves alive and they'll die eventually. By far most of our damage is going to be from dots now. So we can play it very defensive. That was nice, mate. Just drop your threat from me. Oh, that's a useless one. We, funny enough, aren't really using Tranquility much in the solo run. Should be one major floor after this. I say should be, I mean it will be one major floor after this. Right, the dots are in play, let's just keep ourselves topped. Let them do the work. And well, we don't really need to move quicker in Torghast, we don't really use Intentler Roots, so we'll just grab some Phantasm and make use of it later on. And instantly we can see we have a Tower Sentry. One of these Lords of Torment. Let's just grab everything we can get that isn't Lord of Torment first. So we do have a little troll coming along down here. A Tower Sentry behind bars as well. So we have two of them. get rid of the tower sentry first. Drop its aura. We're going to use Convoke on the other elite pack. We shouldn't need it for the tower sentry. No, we don't want to use our heal instantly actually, so let's make sure we don't waste our free full heal, and now we'll end up wasting our free full heal probably. Now it's just a case of whittling them down slowly, just like we've done with every other one. And not waste our free heal. And apparently forget to pick up a single target damage buff. Excellent. That's what we need. Okay, so it looks like we just got dudes in either the side walls. I've been overzealous on the pulling there. Or maybe I did the right amount of pulling. I think we'll be opening the chest first. Let's get one of you out of here. So, we've got all the levers pointing to the bottom. So we'll just open one of these one at a time. Nope. So now we're going to bring two up at a time. Nope. So we'll bring all of them back down, flip open the far left, and do exactly the same again. That would be it. We're close to the end. We'll just grab the bonus haste. We're not really attacking new enemies per se. Do the tower sentry first. And forget to go into stealth. I see your massive crush is reducing armor. No wonder it hit so hard. And this will be the rare, which should well give us a very good animal power, I reckon. Don't quite know whether we need to convoke on this one. We probably didn't. Rares, for all of their usefulness, don't tend to really pose too much threat in the damage department. Thrash is just dealing like 25% of our health and damage, no problem. Well, this is one of my favourites. Take damage and knock back if they deal 5% of our health and damage. Knockback may only once per 10 seconds, but that's a fair bit of damage and pretty safe thing to go for. Plus, it's proc damage, that's sort of our thing. We probably shouldn't have used Convoke. so we'll just avoid the double elite pack until Convoke is back. Wow, forgot to use Rip there. The nice thing about the knockback and damage one is not only is it damage and proc, but it's also a defensive in one, all-round good one to go for. As a healer in particular. I think the heal was actually pretty good last time we used it. I think pulling only one of these is going to be tough. But apparently we have managed to do it actually. Entirely by accident, I will freely admit, until the Death Speaker got knocked back. And well, now we're popping Convoke and we're done a hope. I think that was half healed to full. So what ended up being a good pull ended up being a bad pull. Got some line of sight on people. Apparently get a nice bag of goodies. Knock out those two so we can be stuck with just the sentry. What I would say now with circular weeds in this hero and this Tremor Beast, well, we'll get there eventually. Tusk, we should be in no issue whatsoever. Even though this guy's probably done knock himself through the portal. It'll be a slow slog, probably the same as the last boss. Getting our own order of abilities there. Right, and wow, okay. I guess it's this one because the other two are literally pointless, being that we only have one mob left to kill, and it's the final boss. So, thanks for that great last set of anima powers. But hey, we've had some terrible ones, we've had some great ones. It's all balanced out, I guess. Oh, we didn't even know far back. Right, so we've actually got a fair bit of phantasm, so we can buy pretty much everything, really. We don't really need to increase our death count. The potion's actually going to be more useful. 5 minute cooldown, we're going to be needing one. Wow. First 3 melee attacks into Bart's. I mean, maybe it's good. Maybe we get something that like procs. Well, we aren't clear casting and goring, so we'll just take more damage. Put the potion on the bars. And let's go. And this drug did actually end up spawning ads. That's probably the time for Convoke. So this guy is probably a case of just spawning lots of ads every time he loses some part of his health. Luckily, the knockback works well. I'll just keep twitching them around. Stay in that melee range when there's too many of the small guys. Oh no, you're very small, mate. Just root user again, probably. Ended up not needing the potion at all. Probably didn't even use the free heal on this one, at least. And that's it. Layer 8 Torghast done. With no trinkets, no legendaries, no rings, no necklace. Item level 131. Not that much higher than you'll get when you hit max level with questing gear.